The Chittick's Waikato Stud was again the leading vendor at Karaka in 2020, and their sales success was mirrored by great results on the racetrack. Again crowned leading New Zealand breeder, their six-time champion New Zealand sire Savabeel continued to produce Group 1 winners. They're excited to stand Super Seth in his first season in New Zealand, and while these yearlings were filmed in December, they're exceedingly well educated and well prepared in the great Waikato tradition. Well, Mike, again in 2020, Waikato was the leading vendor at Karaka, and since then you've had another great year on the track for your graduates, led by star mare Probabeel.
Yeah, she's been a super mare. She was a $380,000 purchase by David Alice out of Karaka and bought by Cambridge Stud. She's been a super mare and certainly a flag bearer for us.
And your stallions, of course, Savabeel again has been champion sire in New Zealand. Ocean Park, you had, Colding winning another Group 1, Tivaci in the all-aged, and of course the sadly lost Sacred Falls had a Guineas winner, and of course the Tivacis are in all the best stables ready to hit the track, so the stallions just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, it's very fortunate. Obviously that's the aim all the time with everything we do. It doesn't always go to plan, but for the here and now, all the boys are firing, momentum's in the right direction, and there's not one dragging the chain. We're really happy with where we're all at, and it's certainly reflected in their bookings this year too in the breeding barn.
And how do you see this draft for Karaka? How does it sort of stack up overall compared to past years for Waikato?
We have a huge amount of Savabeels in. I think there could be 22 in, and obviously he's been as popular as ever. I think he averaged 250,000 last year, a median of 220, so certainly the more of him the better. It was just one of those years where we don't have so many ocean parks on offer. We've only got one in the draft, but with the way Sacred Falls going, it's great to have a few in there.
Caroline, it's a really nice even draft this year. Really good looking horses, good attitudes. They've just sort of come into it on a really high. We've had a beautiful spring coming into our summer, and yeah, the horses are just absolutely blossoming.
We start with lot 568 by Savabeel from Mystery Lake. This colt by Savabeel, of course, the Cox Plate winner, continuing that great Sir Tristram Zabeel legacy that served New Zealand so well, by Savabeel from Mystery Lake. And Mystery Lake is an American mare. This is her first foal.
Yeah, we actually purchased her from America. And this is her first foal, and he's an absolute beauty. We could offer this horse anywhere in the world and he would be a standout, and we're really, really proud of him. He's just like his dad, strong, muscular, very imposing, and great attitude, great mover, and yeah, we're really excited to see him go through the sale ring.
Lot 201, another colt by Savabeel. This is from Vilify, the very first lot on day 2, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of buyers there nice and early and online early to see this fellow go through. From the very good O'Reilly mare, who was a Group 2 winner of 4 races. She's had 3 to race so far, and they're all winners. And she's a half-sister to the Queensland Oaks winner, Miss Keepsake, and a 3/4 sister to the 2020 VRC Oaks place getter, Salto Angel. It's the great My Tricia family.
It's a family certainly on the move. We're very proud of Salto Angel. We thought it was an incredibly brave run in the Oaks. We're cheering very loud for her, and yeah, it's a family that's just coming along again now. His dam's a Group 2 winner, and this colt, he's a lovely leggy athletic colt, and we think he's a nice sort of middle distance type of horse.
The next filly is by Tivaci from Exactly Like You, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all these Tivacis hitting the track. Of course, he was a sprinter by High Chaparral who won the Group 1 All-Age Stakes. Gorgeous horse. The dam of this filly was unraced, but is a 3/4 sister to Savapinski, who won the Group 2 Matriarch Stakes at Flemington. So this is the Glitzy Glints family, and I just love these Tivacis.
We're very excited about the Tivacis. They're just hitting the track now, and he's getting a lot of trial winners. This filly, she is quite an athletic filly. She looks like Dad. He's a very attractive horse. She looks like she'll be a nice sort of early 3-year-old type. It's one of our good young families coming through, and a good fillies family too. So I'm sure someone will have a lot of fun racing her. Jamie Gala, she's our yearling manager, and her and her team have done an absolutely sensational job with these horses. I mean, we're only halfway through the prep, and they already look like they could all go through the sale ring now. It's always an exciting time of year, because looking at the drafts, thinking who's going to be the next star in the draft, and I suppose that's what racing's all about, isn't it? No one ever knows where that next top horse is going to come from, and we all love following them through, as we do all the other years, and No, we're incredibly proud to be offering this draft at Karaka.
At the end of the day, we're in late January and we are going to make it work, and I think more leading into that, Mark and Gary have worked hard over decades and working on a network of people who really enjoy and buy off Waikato Stud with a lot of confidence. So I see no reason in the world why our clients and buyers won't be there to buy with us. It might just be that we go about it a slightly different way to get the job done.
Gordon Cunningham's Curraghmore has a rich history of selling Group 1 performers, including in recent years ATC Oaks winner Unforgotten, top Piero mare Tulip, and the 2020 New Zealand 1,000 Guineas winner Kahma Lass, who was sold by Curraghmore at Karaka in 2019. The 2021 draft is a great mix of Curraghmore and their clients' best bloodlines, featuring some of the best sires in Australasia and exciting new stallions such as Tivaci and Almanzor. Gordon Curraghmore's had a great record of producing top horses. The gorgeous First Seal, who was superior to Winx as a 3-year-old, Unforgotten, Tulip, Mighty Boss, and many more. Recently, group winners Longleaf, who won the 3-year-old Karaka Million, Conqueror, who was narrowly beaten by Probabeel in the same race, Kahma Lass, the 1,000 Guineas, Tofane, the all-aged, In a Twinkling, Not an Option. The list just goes on.
Look, we've been very fortunate, to be honest. The horses have sure, they've had a great upbringing here, and we've complemented everything about them for the next part of their journey. And you know, we're just very grateful that they've had some great opportunities to reach their potential. And you know, from the day they're born or from the day they've arrived on the farm here, you know, our whole goal is to aim them towards the racetrack, and it's just great that many of them have gone on year in, year out and produced the goods and results for their owners.
Well, looking at the draft for 2021, we start with lot 48 by Tavistock from Princess Snitzel, a colt by a sire who, of course, has had a great year despite losing him. Johnny Get Angry's his latest Derby winner, and so many more. This colt's from an unraced Snitzel mare, and that blood, of course, is gold. She's a half-sister to 1,000 Guineas winner Planet Rock and group winner Ringo.
He's a colt that from birth we've always had a big opinion of him, and when you see him there, gosh, this morning, I'm thrilled to see him really looking at his peak now, and he's just, I can see him in 2 years' time just being a lovely middle distance horse. He's what I believe you'd want to buy if you're buying a Tavistock. He's got loads of quality, importantly in his blood. You know, whilst the Snitzel part of his bloodline is significant, even more significant is that his granddam is by Savabeel, and we know like how well Tavistock is crossed with Savabeel, the likes of Werther, Johnny Get Angry, as you mentioned, Toffee Tongue, and Tarzino, of course. So this horse is just a high-class horse. I'd have great hopes and great expectations of him.
Lot 205 by Ocean Park from Vitesse. What a great year Ocean Park has had. His Epsom winner Colding, all-age stakes winner Tofane, securing more Group 1s at Randwick for Ocean Park. The colt's dam is by Macfie, the wonderful son of Debawi, and is a half-sister to the Bostonian, who's also by a son of Thorne Park. And this is a colt who's also a close relation to King Mufasa.
Well, it's very interesting that you mention the year that Ocean Park has, and when you mention the likes of Colding and Tofani and all those horses, they fit the mould of very progressive horses, and I think that's what you see here in this horse. He's got loads of scope, he's got a good stride, he's very sound, he looks like he's got constitution, which is important. And being a close relation to the Bostonian and King Mufasa, both Group 1 horses of the absolute highest calibre, but very progressive. And I think when you look at this horse, you can see both his sire line, and you can equally see the best of his dam line here in his physique. He's just a very good sound horse with loads of scope. He moves well, and you know, I'd have good expectations for him also.
Lot 182 is by Almanzor from Tricketus, a lovely colt. And I really love Almanzor as a first season sire. He has the makings of being another High Chaparral or Montjeur, I think, for New Zealand. And Tricketus was a winner herself at 1400 metres. This is only her second foal.
When you see this colt here and you see his quality, I couldn't help but present him to you, Caroline. He's just a lovely quality colt. He'll reflect a lot of what his sire will throw, what you'll see on the sale grounds or in vision over the next coming weeks. Almanzor was, you know, a European champion 3-year-old, and this horse anywhere in the world would command attention at a yearling sale. He's got beautiful balance, he moves well, he's a great colour, he's sound, a really good representative of what we hope is going to become a really top sire. His dam had a lot of ability. She won on debut and unfortunately went to miss, but it's a family that we've mated up here in the last 2 or 3 years on the expectation that we can breed top horses from, and interestingly enough we bred the mare back to Almanzor this year on the strength of this colt.
Lot 535 by Almanzor from Miraculous Miss. The filly's dam is by Exceed and Excel. She was placed in a William Crockett in Melbourne, and the fillies are half-sister to stakes winners Avisto and Celtic Tiger.
Caroline, when you see this filly here and see her movement, she's very, very sharp. This filly's a half-sister to Avisto, who in fact was Tavistock's first winner and first stakes winner. She won 3 stakes races and she was a high-class filly herself here in New Zealand. She was more precocious than most by her sire. When you look at the blood in this filly and the type that she is, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see her get up quite early. We shouldn't underestimate or pigeonhole Almanzor as just being a middle distance horse. It's important to recognise that he was actually unbeaten in 3 starts as a 2-year-old, so he showed plenty. If his horses are good enough, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this filly running as a 2-year-old, and just like her half-sister did, and equally like her mother did, won as a 2-year-old.
Lot 74 by Piero from Rock Diva. Now this filly, of course, by the Triple Crown winning 2-year-old Piero, who sired Derby, Oaks and Guineas winners, as well as that super mare Arcadia Queen. He looks a quality match for Rock Diva, who won the Auckland Cup. She's also a half-sister to the Derby winning filly Sham Rocker and stakes winners Bohemian Lily and Vernon Me.
As you see her there, Caroline, she's very, very much a Piero. She's got a real Piero head on her, just lovely, lovely quality. She's so dark in colour and her overall physique and balance. She fits the profile of her dam line. You mentioned her mother was seriously talented. She won the Sunline on Karaka Million night here, ran 3rd in the New Zealand Oaks, was set by Tony Pike and won the Auckland Cup the following year, and then unfortunately went to miss. But she's, of course, was so closely related to Shamrocker and a number of high-class middle distance horses, and I think that's what this filly is. She's your Guineas, she's your Oaks type of filly. She's good and sound. She's probably the best bred filly in her draft. She complements it physically, and just a little bit of a boost in terms of our expectations for her also. She's a granddaughter of Redout's Choice on her dam side, who has crossed so well with Piero also. So all going well, we'll have a photograph of her up on our wall in 2 or 3 years' time.
Absolutely hope so. Lot 150 is by Sebring from Strata Cavallo. Of course, they're not making any more Sebrings, and what a wonderful sire the Golden Slipper winning son of More Than Ready has been. The dam of this filly carries the blood of O'Reilly through Alamosa, and she was a stakes winner and second in the 1,000 Guineas.
Yes, and when you look at this filly, she certainly fits the profile of many of the good horses by her sire, but equally of her dam. She's got a lovely head on her and she's a lot like her mother. Lots of scope, she's very sound, she's light on her feet. She really fits the profile of her family and the best performed in it. I could see her running as a 2-year-old, but equally come springtime, like many of the good Sebrings, I could see her up also, all going well, vying for classic honours.
And finally, lot 294 by Tivaci from Bride to Be by the all-age stakes-winning son of High Chaparral, Tivaci. We know the sons of High Chap, Dundeel, So You Think are absolutely flying. The dam of this colt is by O'Reilly and is a close relation to the really promising colt in Sydney, Moonga.
Yes, he's a very interesting colt, this. He's quite mature for his date of birth. He's got a lot of quality about him. He's good and sound. You would never underestimate what might happen when you see O'Reilly on the page. He's one of the most influential broodmare sires in Australasia, and of course this colt comes from a very good Waikato Stud family that's, as you say, has already produced Mwanga this year. We like this horse. He's nice and active. He's got a good mind. He's got a lovely head on him. I'd see him as being a progressive horse, you know, by the time he gets to 3 and thereafter developing into a very, very nice prospect. So we like him, and I'm pleased that I've included him in your presentation today. I think we've all got our fingers crossed, but the most important thing from my perspective and from with a vendor's hat on is that I think that so many of us have got good records on the board over here of consistently producing good horses, and we've certainly got to believe, and equally the people who bought so many good horses from us and from all the other vendors at Karaka over the years will feel the same way, that they will participate. And whilst their process of selecting the horses might change, I've got no doubt that there'll be as many good horses come out of this book at Karaka that is consistent with every other year. I look forward to hearing from many people who may not be able to make it here, but that we can support with their selection process. All going well, there'll be horses that when they eventually arrive in Australia and Hong Kong and everywhere else, they'll be pleased to see them and cheer them home in the winner's circle in years to come.